The last time Donald Trump forced beef onto all of us, it did not end very well. It only lasted 2 months. Trump steaks before it was discontinued in 2007 because of poor sales. Trump steak was a brand of steaks and other meats that was licensed by Donald Trump, launched in May of 2007, sold through the Sharper Image and QVC, and due to poor sales and a failure to live up to sales and product expectations, the Sharper Image discontinued the Trump Steaks product line in July of 2007, just 2 months after launch. The reason I bring this up is because we have round two, Donald Trump announcing that he is going to be importing all of this foreign beef because the administration has to solve the problem of exploding prices and exploding beef prices. Now, if you ask Donald Trump, I really want a reporter to just look at him in the face and be like, how is it possible that you're saying beef prices are way down, which they're not, that's a lie like everything else he says. Beef prices are way down, and your food prices are down, and America is great. Well, simultaneously, apparently things are not great. That's why you have to import the beef. Can you explain that? I would love to watch him answer that. Regardless, we're going to hop right into this because some very interesting news around it. Republicans are having trouble defending it. And oddly enough, a couple people mentioning that we also have new information about Donald Trump's administration rounding up wild horses and shipping them to slaughterhouses abroad. And that news is dropping at the same time that we're learning about us getting a large amount of foreign beef. Interesting. Let's hop right into this. Let's start here because there's an interesting twist to this story. Before I hit play, make sure you like, hit subscribe, share the video out. I am not Adam Mockler, but I make a daily video here on the Adam Mockler channel. My name is Chris Mowrey. If you appreciate the fact that we are working so hard behind the scenes, Adam and I, every day trying to bring you guys the news from a Gen Z perspective, cut through a lot of the MAGA BS. If you appreciate that work, again, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my YouTube channel down below. It really helps me out. You guys are the best. The support is overwhelming. Adam and I love you guys. Take a listen to this.
We have right now. The growth will take care of that very easily.
Mr. President, 700.
Question about it.
Mr. President, on the beef deal, which countries did you make that deal with? What are the sources
which
of
deal?
The beef deal?
I don't want to say which countries, but there are a few countries, but they're going to be sending in the highest quality beef, and it's something that we need.
So that's odd. Not just that we're getting foreign beef, most of the beef in the United States that's sold is American. So the question becomes, how much is this actually going to affect prices if the majority of the beef in the market is already coming from the United States? But we don't even know where it's coming from. That's weird. Why won't anybody tell us this? Ron Filipowski here on Twitter. The peasants aren't allowed to know where their foreign beef comes from. That's right. You're going to eat the foreign beef. You're going to like the foreign beef. We don't have to tell you where it comes from or why we're doing it. We're just going to lie to you. We're going to say prices are down. We're just doing this just because, I guess. But you're going to like it. America first. It's obviously not America first, considering ranchers are pretty upset about this. Farmers are pretty upset, you know? You're disincentivizing people potentially from farming, from making this product and doing this. Take a listen to this video here. I think that was very well said. That was a great video. Yeah, again, ranchers upset here. Just want to read just a few paragraphs from this New York Times article from yesterday breaking this down. Donald Trump's going to allow 300,000 metric tons of ground beef to be imported into the United States with lower tariffs over 90 days, he said on a True Social post on Friday, a bid to lower the cost of a staple food for Americans pinched by higher prices. The beef will be imported with, quote, no out-of-quota tariff and sold 25% below the current market price, which is $6.89 per pound, he said. The president provided no details about how his plan would work, but the news seemed to surprise and anger ranchers. He did not say which countries the beef would come from, where it would be sold, or how it would be discounted 25%. A White House official said the president would sign an executive order to remove the tariffs within the next 2 weeks, blah, 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 blah. The official did not specify which foreign exporters he was referring to or which country the beef was from, in reference to securing a deal with foreign beef exporters for those 25% discount. And this is what the agriculture department is saying, you know, a bunch of just garbage nonsense, blaming Biden. You know, you're deep into your second year blaming Biden. It's a bad sign. And groups representing ranchers said the plan was only a short-term fix and would hurt ranchers and discourage them from increasing the supply of American cattle and reducing prices over the long term. More than 80% of the beef Americans consume is produced in the United States, meaning that even an increase in beef imports is unlikely to radically increase the supply of beef and lower prices. And the plan was also blasted by some Republican lawmakers who represent large cattle-raising areas. An administration official had a response to that. I'm going to show you in a second. This was Donald Trump on stage a few days ago talking about the price of beef.
And other things are coming down, and beef is now coming down very rapidly. You see that?
That's right. Beef is coming down very rapidly. The prices are coming down very rapidly. Gas prices are super low. It's all just a lie. It's all a lie. I could prove it right now, and it doesn't take a super genius to prove this. I have no idea. It still boggles my head every day. It drives me nuts how people hear something like that and just believe it. It takes 15 seconds to Google it. Let's have some critical thinking skills. Average price ground beef, 100% beef, cost per pound. And this is since 1985. So let's try to do let's figure some things out here. This is 2020, COVID, and this is 2025. So Trump takes office, let's see, January about here, $5.50 some odd cents, and we're up here at $6 and almost 80 cents. So is that radically going down? Is $5.50 less or more than $6.80? Announcing discount ground beef on the same day that I discovered that you've been killing wild horses. And literally, as this was happening, we learned that the Trump administration is rounding up thousands of wild horses on public lands and selling them off to slaughterhouses abroad. A heartbreaking investigation revealed that Trump's Bureau of Land Management is systematically rounding up thousands of America's wild horses, then quietly selling them off to buyers who are shipping them to slaughterhouses. Before, the U.S. government rarely sold wild horses, but since Trump took office, government sales have more than doubled, and slaughterhouses will pay up to $750 a wild horse. It's like genuinely tragic and disgusting and very sad. The Bureau of Land Management is in charge of protecting 73,000 or so wild horses who mainly roam the West. And this is all from the New York Times. Now, to be clear, I'm not attempting to suggest that horses are being rounded up and then, taken abroad in this incredibly sad ordeal, slaughtered, and then brought back as beef. Oh, here's your beef. We're not telling you where it comes from. That is not what I'm trying to suggest at all. But it is. I did see a lot of social media talk about it. When people were like, "This is interesting timing." You can let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. But again, that's just really effed up and sad. It's like, this administration is really evil. Marjorie Taylor Greene had some very interesting comments on this. Take a listen.
Latest thing the government is going to tell you, you have to accept. Here it is. You're going to eat foreign ground beef and you're going to like it. And they're telling you that it's going to lower beef prices. You talk about America last. That's about as America last as you can get. When the President of the United States is undercutting our own ranchers, our own beef farmers, Americans who are trying to raise their cattle under the smallest herds since 1951, trying to raise their cattle under a New World screwworm threat. And now they're having to compete against foreign countries who have been guaranteed by the president that it's 25% less than the market price. This is outrageous. Republicans were elected in 2024 for one reason, and it was for Make America Great Again. And the key word in that 4-word statement is America. That means Americans, and that includes American ranchers. That includes the food that we eat. Remember MAHA, Make America Healthy Again? Well, let me tell you something. People like me that very much believe in that message and support our farmers and ranchers, we want to eat beef that's grown right here at home. We want our farmers and ranchers to be able to sustain themselves and their herds and feed their families. And we very much care about the fact that food that is being imported in our country, we care about where it's from. We want to know the conditions it was raised in, what it was fed, what chemicals, what type of antibiotics, and how it was processed. I literally cannot get over the fact that people sit here and defend this stuff. You know, if you care about our country, then you care about our farmers and you care about our ranchers, and you very much want them to be successful. But government intervention like this, subsidizing foreign beef imports, is one of the most repulsive things that I've seen out of this administration, and I cannot believe it.
Wow. Now, look, I don't think anybody should trust Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I've been pretty consistent on that because my theory is that she is positioning herself for a post-Trump world and wants very much to be a leader in that space. That's why she's spending the time doing this. With that said, though, again, don't trust her. I don't think much of anything she has to say is good. I can never get over the fact that she puts all these disgusting, horrible conspiracy theories about all sorts of things. But for me, one of the main ones being the election fraud that doesn't exist, and obviously a lot of hate, incredibly hateful Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia, etc. With all that said, she does have a point here. You're going to eat your foreign beef and you're going to like it. And there is a lot of hypocrisy around the administration that's apparently America First that is now importing and subsidizing foreign beef. If Joe Biden or a Democrat had a plan like this to not only import foreign beef, but the American government is going to make sure it's discounted when it shows up to the market. They're going to pay that 25% difference, I guess. Holy, this is socialism, folks. What is going on here? America last. Unbelievable. But of course, Fox News has nothing to say about it. They asked pretty directly an administration official about some people being upset, confused, specifically Republican congressmen and women, some of them outraged, upset. This is what they had to say. Take a listen.
A lot of people saying, look, you're just doing this because, you're ahead of the midterms. You want to start to, bring prices down. And not every Republican has been on board with this. Senator Tim Sheehy from Montana, who represents a lot of ranchers, says this will hurt his ranchers and his constituents. What's your response to Senator Sheehy on this?
Well, first of all, Senator Sheehy's a stand-up guy, really part of the team. We know his constituency is ranchers, and so he's standing up. What I will say is under President Biden, the price of beef skyrocketed. Finally, we've stabilized it a little bit. The price of beef came down a little bit last month, which is great. And this 300,000 metric tons that the president has agreed to come in is just for 90 days. It only represents about 2.5% of annual consumption. And so it should be designed to really bring in the beef that consumers need the most.
Wow. They have no defense. That's the answer. Again, when you are deep into your second year as president, midterms around the corner, somebody asks you about a policy like this, and your administration's talking points are, well, Biden's prices were higher, which they weren't on beef. It's just a lie. You're just lying about, at this point, Americans are like, we don't care about Joe Biden. That's why he's the most unpopular president in a long time. It's why Donald Trump, I'm referencing, is the most unpopular he has ever been. His approval ratings at all-time lows. Can't get in front of the American people and say beef skyrocketed under Joe Biden. Obviously, COVID was going on. Most of the economic data suggesting that inflation was caused by supply and demand issues as opposed to stupid government policy, which I would argue is going on under Trump, tariffs, and the Iran war. But Americans are smarter than this. I mean, look at this. It's 2024 and beef's $5 a pound, and then we're here. So this doesn't look like, again, if I'm not in crazy town, if I haven't gone absolutely insane, then $5 is still less than almost $7. And then he makes the argument that it's not that much beef. So then why are you doing it? Oh, it's only 2%. Then what's the point of, all right, these people. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. Really fascinating stuff here from the Trump administration as they try to get anything they can before the midterms. They're throwing everything at the wall. It looks like right now, Democrats are on pace to control both the House and the Senate. Make sure you are registered to vote. I appreciate each and every one of you making it to the end of this video. Make sure you like, hit subscribe, share this video out, and check out my YouTube channel down below. Once again, I am not Adam Mockler. I'm Chris Mowrey. I do a daily video here on the Adam Mockler channel. So with all that said, I will see you back here tomorrow.